Okay, good morning class. Good morning. So you're welcome to beginners class once again. So today we'll be learning our strapless corseted dress. I'm so sure we all know what it looks like. I did a picture. Please don't laugh at my picture. I drew something on the board, the corset, anything corset has to look like that bra-like look, that cut. Once your outfit has that cut, definitely it's corseted outfit. So you can see I have it, though it's a strapless one that's like a tube, and you can see the compartments, the way I divided them, the way I segmented them into different kind of designs. The upper part is actually corseted, the lower part is kind of like a mermaid with something ball at the bottom. So to achieve this style, now you have to follow some steps, and that steps say you draft your basic pattern, which I have done on the board right behind me. My basic pattern right here, and the next step says shape the pattern. I'm sure we already know how to shape, but I'm going to do the shaping too right here. So shaping your pattern, first thing, shaping the pattern, you eliminate all excesses out from the pattern. I need to get my under bust line because it's under bust line that is missing there. So I need to put the under bust line there before I start my shaping. So then your true bust line, which is 4 cm down, 4 cm down, but because I'm not using actual distance of the bust, so I'll just pick a random figure. Okay, so that is that. Yeah. My outfit has a cut on the waist, so definitely I'm going to introduce the new waistline, but not now. I will introduce the new waistline when I'm done shaping my body. So after I've add all this, then you do your pattern minus actual, then your difference is what you are removing. So you are doing the bust, the under bust, the waist, and the hip if you have excess on the hip. So those are the things you are going to get. So you put whatever you have here on the pattern, then you minus it from half of what you have as actual. So your answer is, so I'm just going to shape this one in my head. So let me say this. Okay, I don't know what shape this one first. I'm done with my shaping now. And the next step says construct the neckline. Definitely, we all know that it's strapless. So that point at which your this thing starts from, that's your neckline. So all you need to do is measure on your body from your collarbone here straight to where you want your tube to start from. So this is your collarbone here. Okay, for me, I use chest line to weigh how low I want my clothes to be. But some people, they don't really care. And as for the neckline, you can do any kind of shape. You can do canoe shape. You can do this wide V, and you can do straight. You can as well do sweetheart. It all depends on the kind of neckline you want. So let me just pick straight because at least it's moderate. When you wear a straight tube, no part of your body is really exposing. But if you want to do sweetheart neckline, you already know sweetheart neckline, so you can use the method. Do you know sweetheart neckline? Yes. So you can use the method to achieve this. Your canoe, your V, those ones are basics. So myself doing straight line, I need to get my neck depth. So getting the neck depth, if this is my chest line, I can decide to use my chest line as my starting point, but if I want it to go up a bit. And there are other designs, so it's not necessarily this, you can do something like this. I think I've seen something like this before. So if you want it to go up a bit, your chest line, you can do maybe 1 inch or some cm above your chest line. So this is let me use 8 cm. So this 8 cm, I'm going to square it I'm going to blend it to the armpit here. And another thing, when you are doing strapless, always increase the depth of your armhole because your pattern has the tendency of being too low, except you want to reveal some part of your sides of your armpit, because there are some people they like it low, revealing very low. But if you don't want it to revealing, please increase that depth. Increasing the depth, that means you are bringing this up a bit. So you can just blend it's sweetheart that we are going to do because it's corset. It's sweetheart. It's corset. No, it's corset we are doing though. So it's sweetheart. Okay. So what I'm going to do is get the depth of this point. So definitely I'm going to come down below my chest line. But be watchful your true bust line so that you don't reveal too much this thing. So let me use maybe 11.5 there. So from this 11.5, I'm going to go inward like 0.75 inches, that's 1.5 cm. So from this, my depth, I'm going inward 1.5 cm. Okay, so that is going to be the depth of this point. So after this, then I need to get the depth of this curve as well. So to get the depth of this curve, you have to place this on the shoulder to know where we want the curve to start from. So once you have that, then you measure it. So let's say I want it on 12. Can you see now? So what do I have to do? I need to use my curve to connect this to this and blend this to the arm hole. Do you understand? I remember, yeah, because
there's no need to close it, that's right. Since you're going to
no, we'll still close that. We'll still close that. I remember I've raised the armpit maybe with 1 cm or 1.5 cm. It depends on how deep. I'm sure you've been using your pattern to drag, so you know how deep this thing.
Okay, you just walked in.
So, okay, now that we have the bed, the other one, then all you need to do is just connect this with your curve and blend this towards the bed. Also with your curve.
Hey, please sit down.
Where is the curve?
Look at it.
Let's go. Connecting this with this. And I'm blending this towards the arm. So you can just use your hand to freestyle that side. Okay. So after you've done this, then you can now close that. But before you close it, so before you close this, you need to connect this to this. Okay. So after you've paneled it, then you can now close to blend, because once you close this this style line, this neckline one will be longer than the other one, so you have to blend it again after you've closed it. I'm going to move the pattern paper. So after we've done this, now there's something you need to do before you close this dart. Okay. You need to take some unseen excess. We call it elimination of gapeness. Okay. So this is where we are going to take it, because you need your tube to be firm, to stay firm on your chest, because there's no strap to hold it to the shoulder. So eliminating the gapeness, for adult size, you are going to remove 1 cm on both sides. So removing 1 cm, you come here, you measure 1 cm, and you come here, you measure 1 cm. So you connect this back to this line with your curve. Like that. And you connect this one too. like that. So now you can close this, and at the point where you close this, you place this new leg to the other leg, your neckline is not going to be balanced. So when you close it, use masking tape to tape it down. Then you can now blend the neckline properly with the help of your cord. So once you've done that, then you now come to this session. Since we are doing, okay,
Miss Ola,
yes,
that adjustment that you've done to that top bust line that makes to eliminate the excesses, can we apply it to bustier as well? If it's loose, because in some cases
you
it's
can
a bit
apply
loose.
it to bustier, but you have to be very, very careful when you're applying it, so that you don't hold too much. You know you already have chest width. So if you hold it too much, then that means that place will be too tight for you. But it's possible for you to eliminate. If you want to eliminate excesses from maybe from bustier, maybe you should just do like 0.75 in inches, not up to 1 inch, or 0.5 to be on the safe side.
Thank you.
And that one, see you after the class. So after we've done this, looking at our style, you can see that I have something like a cup, a C cup effect. So this now is what I'm going to introduce to this place. As we know, this part is our underbust. This line is the underbust. So definitely we have our underbust. So now the next thing to do is to get the amount of space you need for the size. So if you just to help you out, definitely we all wear bra. So you know that part that you have there's your iron, the bra iron, that part that is taut. All you need to do is just measure from your side towards that side to know how many inches, or you measure from that point, that's your nipple point, to that iron point, that's the side. So once you have that, you can mark it out. So definitely this is your dart. You are measuring it towards this side. So like mine now, this is my nipple, this is my middle part. So I'll just take it and feel my bra to know that side. So I have 6 inches, definitely I'm going to use 6 inches. Okay. Just for that side alone. You don't need to touch this front. So once you have it, it should be somewhere around here. Okay. So you do your marking and you bring your curve. Connect this, blend it with the curve to this place, and blend this one with your curve to join that. So that you have your cord. Like that. And like this. Can you see? Yeah. So after you've done this, then we need to do the inner one because I don't know how we put it.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So after I've achieved this, I will now cut this out to achieve this inner styling. Because if you leave this one like this, that means your style line is going to be like this for the corset. Do you get?
Okay.
So you have CF1 and you have CF2 to work with. But because of this style line, you can see this is 1, 2, 3. I have 3 compartments there. So I need to cut this cup out on my pattern paper, place them together, and now and now mark out this my upper part, this my yoke for the upper part, then I leave the rest as CF1 and CF2. So this is going to be my yoke. Okay? But there are different types to cup. You can as well leave it like this. You can as well do the straight one. This and this. You don't understand?
No.
Okay. The thing is, if you want to do this, but you know this is this.
Yes.
This one is this. But if you want to do this, so that means you work with this one. You just form a star line. Then you close this, open this one. So you have opening here, opening here.
There'll be a journey.
Do you get? So the journey now is this, not this anymore. Okay. You understand? So for the 3 pieces, all we need to do is mark the amount of depth, how high you want it. That's for the 3 pieces. So I'm closing this upper part. I'll use masking tape to hold it because definitely that's going to be one piece. Then you now see this one. I'm going to separate it. It will give me CF1 and CF2. And you know, I still have some opening here. So definitely you are going to panel it. Cut like that. And this one like that. Please, this cup, these pieces, they can mix up. So you have to take notes. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So you have to take notes. Your CF1, how do you identify it? You can do notch on this part, notch on this part, single notch. So that when you are putting them together, you know that this part is what you attach to this part of the other part. So for this CF2, which is the side, you can do double notch. You can see that my double notch is reflecting on the first piece, my yoke, and CF2.
Okay.
So after you've done that, then you come to CF1 and CF2. You can do a notch here. So that will help you to know that when you are sewing it, you are bringing this on this. The notch has to be equal. Do you get? And you should know that these notches should be facing up, not down. If one of these notches is facing down, that means you've turned it the other way around. So this notches has to be facing up, and this notch has to be aligned with each other. So you stitch this notch, then you stitch this CF1 and CF2 together to give you one. Then you bring this yoke, place it on it, and stitch to give you a complete cup. So how do you I wouldn't advise you to work with wadding now. Just iron stay. You can iron as many stay just to make it thick. If you use wadding, you won't like the outfit, but you can try wadding. You can try it. You can iron enough stay on it, like layers of stay, just to give you that thickness. Or you just iron a single layer of stay on it and insert cup. Yes, you buy ready-made cup outside and put it in between the fabric and the lining. Just pack it there so that it will fill in the space. Or you wear with your bra. Yes, if you have a strapless bra. If you have a strapless bra, your strapless bra can serve as the cup inside.
Okay. That's double. It's better to just put the stay or put the cup. Just come and put bra on that bra again.
So now we are done with the cuff part.
I have a question.
Can you ask the question after the class?
Before we go. Thank you.
So now we are done with this part. Coming to this side, you know that this is my sleeve, and we have joining on the waist. So I'm going to do your new waistline. And take note, it's not everybody that needs new waistline. So always check your front waist to know whether it tallies. But if you see that your front waist is way longer than your natural this LW, then you can do new front waistline. But if your front waistline is the same as your natural, the LW, please, you don't need it. So you do your new waistline and do your connection like that. Okay, so now once you cut out the cup from your pattern, you are cutting the upper part, that's the top part, from here, like this. And you know your dart is there, so this is going to be your CF1 and CF2. Okay, so if you want it to have panel, you can bring them together. But if you want to cut it as one piece, all you need to do is just, once you separate the pattern, just bring them back. Use masking tape to hold that part. So you place it on fabric and cut as one. Okay. But if you want to panel it, you can pieces it, cut your CF1 separate, definitely unfold, and cut the CF2, then you join them together. So now, as for the boning, as for this one, all you need to do is just create like a space, a channel with extra fabric, because definitely this part is unfold. So once you open it, you can use, I don't know what fabric you are working with, just get a fabric to create like a space that will give you a space for boning. So once you sew it from there, then you sew on this part, before you fix your cup on it.
Okay.
You know what the body is.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Is the joining now that I'm explaining?
Okay.
Joining of this upper part. If you want to join it, after you've cut all this on fabric, you've ironed your stay, you've sewn it and everything, you sew your cup separately. Then you sew this the remaining of the bodies separately. So now to do this boning effect, you are doing it on this one, not the cup.
Okay.
So you have to sew it. It's like you have to sew something like a passage, like for your boning to go through. Or you might not even put boning, you might just put it there as decoration. Most of people don't really put boning. They will just put that sewing there just to show that it's corset.
Okay.
Do you get? So once you sew at the center front, it all depends on your style, what you want to do with that stripe.
Okay.
You can decide to do something like this. So you can decide to do a stripe like this. You can bring like this, do like this, do this, do this. As in just play with it. But the one that is common is this one. Straight.
Let's start with the one that is common.
Straight. So once you are doing your sewing, on the center front,
Okay.
straight down. Then you locate the dart line. Then you sew on the dart line here. After you've sewn it, then you can now fix this cup into the space. You need sewing process.
So we would like to know how to put that boning thing there.
If you want to put the boning, just after you've sewn the cup into the space, you know you've not joined the lower part to that part. So you now see that space on the waist. That's where you pass your boning. That is where you pass the boning into to stop here. So this is going to serve as a stopper for this boning here, and this sewing is going to serve as a stopper for the boning you pass through here. So your boning is going to be short
Yeah.
with
Zero
like
point
half
five.
inch allowance so that you have space to sew the skirt.
This one, we can use our lining to create a.
Don't use lining, please. Don't use lining. Use fabric. You can use velvet. You can use velvet trimmings.
I mean for the inner.
Inner what? For this one, for this stripe.
For the lining.
For the lining, for the inner of the corset.
Yes.
Or no need.
No, you can. You cannot leave it. You cannot leave it exposed like that now. So you will line it definitely. You are going to line it.
I still don't know
So
how
we're
we're
going to
create
cut
that
it
boning
exactly.
area.
Yes, so you are cutting your lining the same way you are
Exactly.
cutting this one, and you are sewing your lining the same.
But you're not putting bone, no.
If you want to put
It's
bone on the lining,
optional.
yes, you can. It's corset now,
Okay.
but if you don't want to put bone, it's optional. It's optional. You can decide to put bone on the lining and not put on the fabric. You can decide to put bone on the fabric and not on the lining, and you can decide to put not to put bone on both.
Is it possible to put two bonings? I thought it's just one boning that goes through
There are
the lining.
different shapes.
Okay.
There are different shapes.
We make the boning.
You buy boning, they sell in the market. There are different shapes of boning. So if you want two bonings, there's a way. Please do this one.
Give us one boning first.
Do this one boning thing. You have like half-inch depth of boning. Buy that one and insert it.
So to insert that, are we going to join the lining to the fabric and then pass the boning through that?
No, you know I told you on your fabric, you sew on it like a passage where boning can pass through.
Okay. We
Like
use
a
another
space.
fabric on that
Yes.
fabric to create that, like a
Yes.
bias passage.
Yes, exactly. Like a bias passage on the fabric so that your boning can pass through it. It's just like a boning case.
Okay.
You are sewing a boning case on your fabric.
Okay, understood.
Yes.
So how we'll do that in the end when we are sharing it to country?
So you are going to do that. So once you pass your boning, then you can now join the lower part of the dress to the waist. Boning is not a must to do when you are doing this. The main thing is this bra part. It has to be on point and everything. You know it's a corset, so it has to cinch. There's nothing like you are leaving ease or anything because it has to grip.
So is it better to use a stretchy fabric
It's always good to use stretchy
so
fabric.
that we can eliminate all the excesses?
It's always good to use stretchy fabric, but there's some stretchy fabric that will frustrate you when you're doing cut.
To give you something else.
That will frustrate you. So if you want to use a stretchy fabric, use something that is not too stretchy.
Minimum stretching.
Yes, something like that.
Okay.
I'm coming home. What is the question?
Like that time you measured from here to here and you got 6 inches. Then you said, okay, somewhere around there. Yes, somewhere around there. Like from what point are we going to measure it to get that somewhere
From
around?
your point X now, from your dark line.
Okay.
Your nipple is a dark line. So from your dark line, you measure towards the side. So once you get that 6 inches, you just square up to
Okay.
touch the armor.
Okay.
Then you use your curve to do the blending.
Thank you.
So there's one last thing before we go into this bottom part. There's one last thing we need to do on this upper part. You know that this, your UP, it has excess. It always have a lot of
Yes,
excess. So you have to eliminate at least 0.75 from there. So once you measure 0.75, you blend it to the side. 0.75, you blend it to the side. You are good to go. So by the time you sew, you are done sewing this. If you wear it and you still see that it's not firm enough, then you can turn it inside out and still hold more. But to be on the safe side, 0.75. If you go more than that and you're
not able to wear it.
So 0.75. That's that for the upper part. Do we have any question? Because this is the hardest part of it.
Yeah.
What is the question?
And it's outside this thing, but it's still for us. Okay, so it's just Miss Fola, if I want to put if I want to
I don't know, it looks good for
Okay.
the camera, but
So-
for us, is it better?
So after you've done your manipulation with the pattern and everything, you can see CF1. Always label each pattern, please, because you're working with different pieces of pattern paper so that you don't get mixed up when you're doing your sewing. So and work with notch everywhere that is necessary, like this one that I said now, the single notch, the double notch is very, very useful. Very, very useful. So once you are done with all this, definitely your CF1 is on fold. So you cut on fabric. After cutting on fabric, as for the bottom part, you can choose any style of your choice. Like you have this style, you have this, and you have this. You have various kind of styles. And I'm sure you've done skirts, different variations of skirts, so you can apply it to the bottom part. So you couple everything together and you have your corseted strapless dress. So that's going to be the end of today's class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Fola.
put